thanks to the support as a channel member, All Stars United SC. Yeah, I see I'm going to need to keep an eye on you, bunch of rascals. I told you we needed 5,000 likes for yesterday's episode to come out, and we didn't quite get there. It is half my fault, mostly your fault for not liking it. Half my fault. I'll take some responsibility. I was out all day yesterday, so I had to guess whether we would get there or not, and had it scheduled. It was like on 4 and a bit thousand when I left home at 9 o'clock in the morning, and apparently you all knew I was leaving home and didn't like it. Understand, you won't get away with that again, boys and girls. If you want these weekend uploads, we have to hit those like targets. I don't want you thinking yesterday sets a precedent. It does not. Thank you for this. I mean, over 4,000 likes is still very good. Thank you for the support. Now let's have a cup run and make Bedford rich. And actually, we're going into this big cup game against Exeter off the back of 2 very big wins in the league. 3-0 in both of them. But Scarborough were top of the league when we beat them. We've actually knocked them off of the table by putting them in their place. Sutton United, a little bit lower down the table. They're down in the relegation zone, but we beat them both 3-0. And we beat them both 3-0 thanks to 2 very good performances from Johnny Day. He got a hat-trick against Scarborough. He got 2 more against Sutton. So that's 5 goals in the last 2 matches for Johnny Day. And since arriving, 7 goals in 6 in the league, plus he's already scored in the cup this season as well. It's Johnny Day, everybody, and I hope you will join me in celebrating this luxurious occasion. It's Exeter that we're playing in the league. They are in a playoff push in League 2. And we're obviously not in the same kind of form we've been in previous years when we've come into these cup matches. So I don't know that we're going to get a repeat of the heroics we've had in previous seasons, but goodness me, we're going to give it a try. And this is our very new look, but I think now settled best 11 team that incorporates the new strike partnership, some of the new loanees we've got in. So we've got Casagrande in goal, a back four of Strachan, Brown, Stockhill, Huffer and Shield, Compton and Aribe in midfield, Sheringham, Miembe and Rhys Dottin out wide, and then Thomas and Day together up front. It's a little bit harsh on Bruno Sena, but Bruno Sena has not scored since the last episode. He had only scored, I think, 1 goal in about 5 matches leading into the last episode. So despite that electric start to the season from Sena, he has gone off the boil just a smidgen over the course of the last month or so. It's not anything to panic about because he is a big, strong boy who's also decently quick. He's not quite as quick as Day, but he's bigger than Thomas. He can be first reserve for either of the centre forward positions. And of course, that doesn't necessarily mean he's ruled out of ever being a starter for us again. It's just at the moment, Thomas and Day are the men in possession, but Thomas could just as easily drop out onto the left. There's options. We've got nice strength in depth now, nice options. And having a 6'5" striker, a quick, physical 6'5" striker to come off the bench with 20 minutes, half an hour to go is certainly a very useful situation to be in. Looking at Exeter, seems they're playing a very cowardly flat back 7, which means we're probably going to struggle to make the breakthrough. So we might need Bruno Sena. He has the size of 2 men. So him partnered with somebody else allows us to combat the 3 centre-backs they've got behind their 4 full-backs. Yeah, that's right. They're full-backs. It's a flat back 7, and you know it is. Right, Compton sprays it out looking for Day. I mean, Day is quick. He is not quite that quick, though. It's pouring with rain. It's notable now when it is pouring with rain, because unlike when FM26 first came out, it's not raining all the time. But this is some pretty hefty rain down here on the south coast. They've still got their trees, look. They do have a little bit of a situation behind the goal as well. But I feel like Exeter probably play in a better ground than this in real life. I've never been there. But the idea of it being, what have we got, 8 rows behind the goal at that end, no roof on any side. I don't think this is the ground that Exeter play in. Right, Compton to Thomas. And now Compton again, back to Brown, who hits the ball forward looking for Thomas. He can't win the header. Sena wins that. No final decisions have been made yet. Sena could well find his way back in. Obviously, it's been Day who's been scoring lots of goals, and Thomas has very much been involved in helping him do that. but he's not scoring goals for himself, whereas Cena, playing as that target man, was scoring goals himself as well. So maybe Day and Cena becomes the partnership. Who knows? Of course, also this version of the team doesn't have room for Captain Kirk either, but that's something that we could potentially resolve. Like I say, strength in depth. Strength in depth has got to be a good thing. Right. Stockhill Huffer. Oh no, it's Compton. I thought it was Stockhill Huffer to take it. Compton lumps it forward. It falls to Uribe. And now Sheringham Mayembe. And there's Rhys Dottin. And we've gone ahead against League Two opposition in the FA Cup. Goodness me. Do we love this competition? It has financially kept us afloat for the last 3 years. And it might be doing it again this season. We just have so much fun in the FA Cup. We are a cup team. And we very much enjoy that status. Go on, give us the half-time whistle now, ref. It's been a bit of a nothing first half, but for us to go in ahead at the break, jolly nice that is too. Right. Just keep doing what you're doing, chaps. Let's get ourselves into the second round. We need that cup run. Sheringham Mayembe trying to get going down the left-hand side again. He's unfortunately, I guess he didn't do anything with it because the highlight just stopped. Which I don't really know why we had to see the highlight. I guess we always have to see the kickoff, even if nothing happened from it. Do we always see the kickoff? I now need to go back and check if we always see the kickoff. I think you always see the. Let me know down in the comments. I'm pretty sure you always see the kickoff. Right. It is a corner for Exeter. Casagrande, just catch it. And he doesn't even come for it, but he does make the save. And then I think Strachan hacks that one clear. Strachan's had a little bit of heat in the comment section over the last few days. I think Strachan is a fantastic defender. And there's another example of it there from him. He's our longest serving member of the back four, for sure. One of our longest serving players, actually. Looking at that 11, I think it's Strachan and Casagrande possibly arrived in the same summer. They're both in their third seasons, I think, with the club. So yeah, leave Strachan alone, you bunch of bullies. Right, we will take off Thomas and bring on Cena. Day also hasn't done very much, but Taylor is fit again. We'll bring Taylor on as well. Are we on 5 changes? We are on 5 changes in the FA Cup. And then I'd also, what are we going to do? We're going to bring on Cannaville for Shield. Got to make the changes, but we've got a completely different front two. Look at the strength in depth we're able to do now. To be able to pull out Cena and Taylor, who were our starting partnership just a couple of months ago, at the start of the season in this league, and we're doing well, to be able to bring them on with 20 minutes to go when we're already winning, it's a jolly nice situation. Stockhill Huffer with the header, and he's not able to loop it up over the goalkeeper, who collects relatively comfortably. We're just keeping an eye on everybody's fitness levels. Strachan is tiring, but we don't have a left back on the bench. We do, I think we'll take off Compton. McLeod can come on for him. And then for my final trick, do we get Captain Kirk on? I think we get Captain Kirk on. We also have the Luke Ness monster as well. So we've got some good names starting to appear around this squad. Lots of fun to be had. But Rhys Dottin has won us a free kick, and doesn't look like we did anything with it because the highlight just stopped again. Exeter are going to feel very hard done by if they go out here, but one of their key attacking players is having a terrible game. So I mean, and that's the guy that Strachan's been looking after. Strachan's only on a 6.2, but he's clearly dealt with that guy because he's down on a 5.9. Told you Strachan was good. Nobody in our team has played well, supposedly. I just don't trust the match ratings. We've just come to a League Two team and beat them relatively comfortably. They never really look like scoring, and we don't have a single player who's even done a 7 out of 10. Well, those two facts don't mesh together. The ratings aren't right. But look, this is why we need a cup run so much this season. We're down to 130 grand. The last couple of years when we've had the cup runs, we've been up to like 400,000. We've won 41,000 prize money there. And then I guess second round, we want a big away game against a big League One team. Let's see who we get. Morecambe away is not hugely exciting. Although to be fair, they're below us in the league. It might not be hugely exciting. It is an opportunity to get us into the third round of the FA Cup, though, for the second year in a row. So we will show you that next. We'll go all the way through to Morecambe, and fingers crossed, we can get into the third round and get that away game against a Premier League team again that sets us up financially for the year. That would be super duper. Well, that has been a rather splendid month since the Exeter game. We've not had our usual slump going into a big cup game, I guess, because, and I do risk the Football Manager gods striking me for this, it's only Morecambe, but we haven't lost a game during that little run. If we have a look at the league table now, you can see we are up to third in the league, only 2 points off the top, where Eastleigh are knocking around, and it's fair to say, Johnny Day, quite good. Ollie Thomas, I mean, he's a good foil for Day. I don't know. Maybe Cena will get his run back in the team at some point, but Johnny Day is definitely proving to be quite a useful signing. We have done a little bit more transfer business where nobody new has come in, but we have made a sale, and it might just be the club record sale, because Andrew McLeod has gone to Hereford for £28,000. He was one of the first contracts we renewed back in the summer, and then we signed a bunch of really good midfielders. So he just never got anywhere near the team. He played a couple of eight substitute appearances, never got anywhere near the team. Asked to leave. We put him on the transfer list. 28.5 grand later. Lovely, lovely, lovely. So going into this game against Morecambe, the bank balance is still precarious. We could definitely do with the win and that big third round tie. Cross everything. I've played enough Football Manager to know we're almost certainly going to lose, because it's a very frustrating game at times. But we are going full strength. We're not taking them lightly. It's Casagrande in goal, about for Strachan, Brown, Stockhill, Huffer and Shield. Compton and Aribe in midfield, Sheringham, Miembe and Reese Dottin as the wingers, and then Thomas and Day up front. I think as soon as we stop winning, as soon as we stop this long unbeaten run, Cena will come back into the team for a bit. But at the moment, I am loath to change a winning team, because it might be that Ollie Thomas is what's unlocking Johnny Day. So I don't want to mess things around too much while everything is working as well as it is. Thomas certainly does link up nicely with the two wingers behind him, and it almost kind of turns into a 4-2-3-1 when we're actually playing. Thomas often finds himself a lot deeper than Day, and the shape of it is very pleasant when we're in full flow and playing well, which doesn't look like we're doing today. 15 minutes in, we've only had 36% possession and not had a shot. So it has been all Morecambe so far. And I will be very upset after our cup exploits of recent years if we get knocked out here by a team below us in the league. I don't think at any point during the series so far we've lost an FA Cup game against a team below us. So maybe today's the day. We're already losing. We've not had a shot yet. 16 minutes in. It's so predictable, this game. We've been in such good form. This was always going to happen. It's so frustrating. They're on the attack again. Still only 18 minutes on the clock. They could go 2-0 up here, despite the fact they've only got one man forward. Right, we do get the tackle in, but Day can't win the header from the clearance. And it is Morecambe relentlessly attacking again. Casagrande makes the save, and we need to sort ourselves out. After saying in the last match you don't get a lot of rain anymore, it's pouring with rain again. We're going to go attacking straight away. It's the FA Cup, and we need to get out there and show that we actually mean business. I mean, obviously, if you were to give me a trade, if you were to offer me the third round of the FA Cup or promotion to the Football League, we obviously take promotion to the Football League. That being said, at this stage of the season, with the bank balance the way it is, we don't trade the third round of the FA Cup for just being in the playoffs, which is where we are at the moment. Obviously, if we go on and win the league, then fair enough. But that seems pretty unlikely. Although I guess it's something I have been saying for the last 2 or 3 seasons. There's not that difference between the best teams in the National League North and the best teams in the National League. So as the team that won the National League North last year, it will prove my point for me if we go back to back. But it just seems quite unlikely. Yes, we've hit a bit of decent form today, but up until today, we have been pretty inconsistent. And Morecambe on the attack again. Brown gets the header clear this time, and it's Sheringham Miembe, and we could really do with the equaliser before half-time. Sheringham Miembe with the cross. There's Ollie Thomas! Oh, he rattles the crossbar! Oh, that would have been very handy if that had put us level, right, we have a corner. It's going to be Shield to hit the in-swinger. He's gone for that near post where we're not able to get there first, and it comes back to Uribe. And now Sheringham Mayembe, who has the shot, now he's hit the crossbar. And it feels like it's going to be one of those days. I'm also a little bit surprised that apparently Morecambe played a much bigger stadium than Exeter, which does surprise me quite a lot. Right. We're starting to look in terms of who we've got down on the bench. We've got Cena, we've got Taylor, we've got Chalk, we've got options. We also have a few players who are unhappy that they're not getting enough game time. Ness, Canaville, Thomas. We've got a few of them who are starting to get a little bit grumpy, so we might have to start doing some rotation. Although there's no point doing rotation if we're not in the cup anymore. So if they want game time, their buddies need to win this match. And then we might do a little bit of rotation to help us stay as fit as possible for the cup run. Right, Uribe gets the tackle. I'll tell you what, he's been a fantastic signing. He's been so good for us. Who'd have thought that a player with 60 caps for Colombia would be good for the National League? No matter how old he is, he's just been fantastic. Sheringham Mayembe has looked like the only threat today. And finally, we managed to get the breakthrough. It's Ollie Thomas. See, the management, that is. We decided to stick with him, even though he's not really been scoring. And he does grab the all-important goal today. And it's good work again from Sheringham Mayembe. And it takes a little bit of a deflection. And Thomas is there to drill it home. We're going to stay attacking because we don't want to be messing around with replays. We just want to get into the third round of the FA Cup. So let's go on and win this game today. The form we've been in, we should win this game. But Morecambe clearly quite fancy a third round of the FA Cup for themselves. And it's them who are on the attack again. I do hope I'm not going to regret staying on attacking because they've come straight back at us. Casagrande doing what he does so well. Another very good save from him. Stockhill Huffer now gets the tackle in. And we are defending desperately at the moment, I think is the fairest way of describing what's currently going on. We get to see the corner as well, which is worrisome. Cross comes in. It's cleared, but only as far as a Morecambe player. But Ollie Thomas gets in to make the block. And now we've got the chance for a counter-attack. It's 3-on-2. Thomas bursts clear, plays it across to Sheringham Mayembe. He tries to find Day in the middle. The idea was a good one, but unfortunately it didn't come up. At Reece Dottin wins it back. Thomas, Sheringham Mayembe, and he deserves it. He's been fantastic throughout this match. Definitely our main attacking threat. And it does eventually come from that counter-attack from before. Great work from Reece Dottin, both to make the initial challenge and then to get the cross in so quickly afterwards. And Sheringham Mayembe on his weak foot, first time from the edge of the area. That is a lovely finish. We will now drop back to a positive mentality. We've certainly started this second half well. 2 goals in 5 minutes. We've turned the game on its head. Morecambe is still ahead on XG. They're still ahead on possession, on shots. They're going to be a little bit shell-shocked about what's happened at the start of this second half, but we're going to try and add a third. It's Sheringham Mayembe again to Strachan, and now Brown. Uribe shoots from range, and his shot goes just over. We can taste that FA Cup third round now. Come on, gentlemen, don't mess things up from here. How are we doing? Let's make some changes. Let's get Cena on. In fact, we might bring both strikers on again. We'll bring Cena and Taylor on. We do that quite often. Reece Dottin isn't having the best of times, so more can come on for him, who's not really had much of a look in since joining us on loan. We do need to keep an eye on Shield as well, who is tiring. Is Canaville on the bench today? He's not. I mean, Kirk or Ness could potentially come on, and we could maybe put Stockhill Huffer out at right back. There's shuffling around that could be done. None of it's ideal though, so we don't want to make that change unless we have to. Strachan's missed his header. Strachan. Casagrande has got him out of trouble there. It remains 2-1, but it's another Morecambe corner. And you don't normally see this many corners actually in highlights. So clearly they are causing all kinds of problems from them. And they are continuing the attack. And that was an insane clearance from Compton. He wins the ball back, but just plays it towards the penalty spot along the ground. It's absolutely insane. But we do get away with it. And now it's Casagrande. 15, 20 minutes or so of the game remaining. He plays it short to Shield. And now Shield plays it over the top for Bruno Cena, who's in, and Cena scores. And Bruno Cena hopefully is back. That's his first goal in about 2 months. And it's a lovely finish as well. And this is what you get with Cena that you don't get with Thomas. He's just got that little bit of magic about him. Yeah, if he's back, if he's scoring again, he's back in the team. That's for sure. I do love that guy. And that is a lovely goal. And fingers crossed, we don't manage to balls up from here. We are going to take off Shield and we'll bring on Captain Kirk. Stockhill Huffer can go out to right back. And we'll take off Compton and Chalk can come on for him. And fingers crossed, we just don't balls up. Miss this. Good. And now no more highlights. And then we're happy. And then hopefully we do get that big money spinning tie. We got, can't get my words out. We got Sunderland away last year. So fingers crossed we can get a similar away game against a Premier League team with a big following, a big ground. Because obviously in the FA Cup, we talk about it a lot, but in the FA Cup, it is a 45% split between home and away team, whether the game is home or away. The away team gets 45% of the gate receipt. So obviously we want that. We get 67k just for winning that match. So we're already up to 200 grand. And now the right draw for the third round. And all of a sudden the finances start to look very, very healthy. So let's, I'll be back when the draw happens. I don't even know when the draw happens. I don't think it's until Monday. Well, as you can see, we have got QPR. The question is it home? Is it away? An away game against QPR should be a money spinner. And it is at Loftus Road. So that could be another, I mean, that should make us a couple of 100 grand. And they're not in good form either. I mean, there's the possibility we could do something silly against a QPR team that are struggling. But that's obviously going to be tomorrow's episode. That doesn't happen until January. So hopefully we can keep our run of form going until then as well. And once we're done with FA Cup shenanigans for the season, we'd love to still be in a promotion push. But yeah, QPR away to hopefully sort us out financially for the season. And then we can worry about the second half of the season from there. But if you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.